You're listening to Legends Library. Now, here's your host, Liisa and Kyle Rawlings.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liisa.
And I'm Kyle.
And my name is Corinthia.
And you're watching Legends Library. We are a podcast dedicated to the Legends line of the Star Wars books. And today we've got a bit of a fun episode. It's not quite as what we had planned, but we're just going to talk about what we love about Star Wars with our excellent guest, Corinthia. She is the host controller of the Eternal Sith Empire, the Facebook group. And, you know, she's a big fan of Legends, so we thought we'd have her on today. So, Corinthia, if you could tell us a little bit what you were up to and how to find you as well.
Sure. So my name is Corinthia. As Liisa said, I run a Facebook group called the Eternal Sith Empire. We are also called the Final Sith Order on Facebook. And we also have a dedicated forum online. It's mainly a fan club and role-playing group. And our sandbox is of a couple hundred years after the end of Legacy era in Legends.
Okay.
And we just do all kinds of fun role playing and story writing, and it's been a fun group for a couple decades, and it's just fun. So yeah,
A couple decades. That's awesome.
You said decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were founded originally in 2003. So
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, it's great to be old. That's wonderful, Corinthia.
Yes, yes. And it's great. We still have our original founding members, our members. So it's great. Yeah.
Are you
cool.
serious?
Yeah.
From way back in 2003?
Yes.
Oh man, your Attack of the Clones crew is still your Attack of the Clones crew? That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow,
That is
yeah.
not common. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It just means we've apparently got some kind of sticking power. So yeah, we love it.
What's the kind of the stuff you've been writing about on there?
So we're obviously, given the title, we're a Sith fan club. So we focus a lot on, you know, revisiting and bringing into like our quote unquote modern day, a whole bunch of, you know, Legends, Sith lore, like, especially things that pertain to like the Eternal Empire, Rakata, like I'm blanking. All the oh my God.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Cats,
That's all right. That's
cats
all right.
always
we'll
force you
pause
to
it
get
back
off.
at a couple seconds ago.
Oh, don't worry. We'll just keep
Yes.
going.
She's like, do you want to see my butt? And I was like, no, thank you.
The internet's like, yes,
you got
yes,
the
we
marker,
do want
Lisa?
that.
Do you got the marker, Liisa?
No. Oh, no, I'm just going to keep
It's,
recording.
What moment? Are you really? Oh, screw it. All right, let's go.
It's just one of those
We
episodes.
can change it post.
Well, I mean, now,
All right.
now
I love that.
now I'm
going
to
Now I
edit
feel
it.
like we're entering our like. No, Liisa, we're gonna continue right here, right? Because this is the moment
Okay.
that like we enter that Howard Stern level of like Legends Library. We're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
Robin's like laughing right now. You know what I mean? Oh, there
Yeah.
she is. I no, it's you. Great.
I was
Let's
going
just
to
keep
say
going.
maybe you've got the setup for Howard Stern, but you know,
Unscripted Legends Library.
unscripted.
Yes.
This is a very unscripted episode. For the listeners who are tuning in and now not tuning in at this point. That's really yeah, like some of the stuff I've been reading about recently.
What was that?
Like I've been doing lots of, you know, going in, tuning in about like obviously we were going to do a Women of Legends episode again. And I didn't realize how much Abel Pina, first of all, had to do with naming of Sith. Like he was the one responsible for Darsana's name,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. As well as Darth Millennial and a couple other ones like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. His name is just
my
everywhere.
all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Abel,
Yeah,
for
thanks.
giving a shout
we
out.
love Abel. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah. In fact, folks like Abel Pena, we refer to his works a lot in our group,
that's
as
awesome.
well as
Oh
Kyle knows Joe
yes,
Bongiorno. We love his stuff. So
yes,
yes,
yes. Me and Corinthia go way
yes,
back at this point.
uh, yes,
Part of all
yes,
of that. I remember launching the Discord and being like thrilled that you were going to be one of the mods. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, all right, cool.
I was thrilled to be asked by Joe because, I only know him through the other editor, Edward. So it was kind of like a big honor that I got to,
Yeah,
be a bigger part of supernatural encounters and everything that's happening in the, Ancient Sith arena there.
yeah. You
So
you
that's really fun.
you were really recommended, and I think we were still doing before Discord. We were doing Facebook Messenger, and it's just like, all right, mod talk. I'm pretty sure you were chewing from that. So
Yeah.
yeah, again,
Well,
great
I
to have you
appreciate
here
it. Yeah,
too.
it's really fun.
For those like tuning in, like it's kind of the first meet and greet that we've had on video for quite some time, so it's kind of nice since our previous work that we were doing that we I'm going to leave it up to the ladies here if they want to discuss that further.
Yeah, no.
But it's good to have Corinthia join us this evening
Yeah,
on
no.
something a lot more on something a lot more positive than what we were all working on before.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice
Hmm.
way to leave it,
Yeah.
right? And
Exactly.
we're
Yes, I
leaving
think.
it in 3, 2, ladies.
Kyle, how much wine have you drank today?
This is cup number 2. If you see me leave for number 3, then you know that you should probably stop the show. I'm
So,
kidding.
so Corinthia, I wanted to ask, what was your first kind of moment getting into Star Wars? I know the typical Star Wars question. What got you interested?
So kind yeah. What got me? So I kind of always grew up with Star Wars. My dad was a huge fan, so it was always just around. Like I remember playing the OG Battlefront games and watching the prequels with him growing up, but it was never like something I was a huge fan of. It was just kind of like existed in my space.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until the sequel trilogy, actually, I saw Force Awakens in theaters and was like, this is amazing. I need more. And I found Legends, and that was the end of the story, really.
Yeah.
So I got sucked into, like Thrawn trilogy, Darth Bane trilogy, all these
Yeah.
awesome, what are like the quintessential Legends works for people who are new. And it was just a downward spiral, and here I am now.
Welcome to the dark side.
So yeah.
The downward
Yep.
spiral.
It you know
All of
what?
your, like our people may not eat, but we have hardcovers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that
Yep.
kind of addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I think it's nice when like parents get you into it, or like at least they still kind of give you things. Like I just want to show you something my mom gave
Yeah.
me the other day. She was like, "Look, I got you a treat," and then like put it on my chair in my office, and it was a Awakens lightsaber book, and I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
Oh, cool.
Host of Legends library,
Yeah.
like.
It's
I'm like, she cares.
yeah.
She's trying.
Yeah. Ever since I got sucked in, it's like everybody gives me Star Wars stuff. They just know
Yeah,
Corinthia loves Star Wars,
yeah,
so
that's how it
you
is.
can't go wrong with gifting me a Star Wars book.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'm
I'm gonna
oddly
keep it in
specific.
package.
I'm like, if it doesn't have the black horse, I'm like, look for the little black horse on it. And if you see that, I'll love it. And
Yeah.
that seems to be
Well,
how things come
yeah.
my
in
way.
fairness, Kyle, Marvel did
It's
used
just
to
the easiest
do
way
the
to be.
1977 comic run, so you can't really say just that.
Yeah, yeah, and they were like, no, I love those. No, no, those were their own thing. That was great.
Yeah. Well, they brought
That's
us
separate.
Shirbei, Lumaya. Like, how could you not like those?
Original Marvel comics were great. They're usually and I only have things on the shelf that I have Dark Horse on them. So
Hmm.
there's the omnibus up there for the Marvel collection. You know what I mean? I have all the reissues of everything that they did.
Hmm.
That was pretty cool. And actually and it's okay, Lisa. I got the Marvel
Oh, okay.
hardcover editions of the Marvel year. Because those are beautiful formats, by the way. Is anybody
Hmm.
collecting those?
I have them
They're
digitally,
coming out right now.
but no.
I know people who have been collecting them. Yeah.
Oh, they're beautiful. I don't buy anything from them
Yeah.
anymore, but like you can't not buy certain things. And
Yeah.
like the seeing the Knights of the Old Republic edition, amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I always try to pick
Yeah,
up
it's much
things
better than
like,
spread over 3 of those.
yeah, like I pick up things secondhand or, like little bookstores or things like that. So, I mean, you get what you
I do the
get,
same.
like I did find,
Yeah.
what did I get? I got Tales of the New Republic at a garage sale a couple of weeks ago for 25 cents. I was like, 25 cents? This is the best deal I've ever
Oh, yeah.
found.
Yes.
So,
Nice.
Love that.
do you have any kind
I
of
think the
merchandise
the
and stuff?
absolute
Oh, sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
no, I think the best deal I ever got for anything was Scourge on hardcover for $10.
Mm.
That's like my big claim to fame on the best deals of
Wow.
all time. Yeah.
Corinthia.
$9.99 at some local city shop.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'm sorry, and you were going to talk about other things here.
Yeah,
Keep those
no,
going.
I was just going to talk about Corinthia. Do you have any merchandise? Like, what's your favorite collectible that you have?
Oh boy. I'm not actually really all that big of a collectibles person. I mostly focus on just collecting books.
Yeah.
But honestly, probably it's this poster that was bought at a Blockbuster, and I just love it so much.
Yeah.
So
Long live Blockbuster.
yes, I miss them.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, some of my earliest Star Wars memories are of renting Attack of the Clones like a gazillion times at Blockbuster. So
Yeah.
8-year-old me loved it.
That's awesome. Now, for me, like when I went back and after reading Legends and then watching the prequels, I know we were kind of talking about prequels before we started recording, but the moment of like Order 66 I found was so much heavier because you get all these like in-depths of all these characters, and like after reading a bunch of
Yeah.
Legend stuff, I bawled my eyes out at the Order 66 scene. Like I just could not handle it because I was like, I
Yes.
know all these guys now. Like, like you get to know Kiadi
Yes.
Mundi
It's like,
and
no, Plo Koon.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, Plo Koon, oh
Yeah.
man, he's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Did you know his niece actually tried to get herself become a Sith? Like when Order 66 kicked off, she actually holocommed Palpatine, and he's like, "How did you get this number?" And she's like, "Well, I want to, be a Sith because this is what the Force is telling me to do." And he's like, "Well, if you can kill my apprentice, then you
Yeah.
could be it." And of course, obviously, she doesn't. But then it's kind of like her ruse of, she wanted
No,
to
because he
take them
could.
down, but yeah, but she dies in the end, obviously.
Yeah.
So, have you read that one, Kyle?
Yeah.
Which one? I kind of was distracted when I was.
Did you see something shiny on the screen?
Yeah. I tuned in and I was just waiting for the appropriate moment to join back in. Which book were you talking about?
No, I was just talking about the comic about Plo Koon's niece.
I dead stalled you on there. Was it part of Republic?
It was either Tales or Republic or Empire. Not Empire. I'm gonna have to think about it. I think it was Republic.
No, it wouldn't be Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I haven't read Early Republic in like a little bit. I revisited like the Quinlan era,
Oh, nice.
and that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
You were talking about like merchandise and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where like favorite stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I know that it's like old now, but I think like the coolest thing that you can just buy at any GameStop anymore because they still have them is like the Jaina Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That was definitely like a cool piece.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the nicer things that I've received recently was we're having Nick Joseph do the SE audio drama, and he sent me this recently, right? And it's pretty cool. Shit, there we go.
Oh, cool.
It's
He's
kind of
such
nice.
a nice guy.
Yeah, he like
That
autographed
is
it, and
awesome.
he's gonna be playing himself in the
Yeah.
audio drama, so
cool.
it's kind of nice. And he's like sent it my way
Love
as like a
that.
little, yeah, and it's like it's his card, you know.
Yeah,
This is like
it's awesome.
his claim
Nick
to
Joseph
fame.
is just such an awesome dude. I think I chatted with him a little bit a couple of months ago, and just what a nice guy.
Yeah.
You just
He really
reminded.
was. He was very understanding and just like patient.
That's
He's
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Well, fun fact about that Leia outfit, that necklace, it's from Finland. Yay.
Cool.
No, like, just a
Finnish.
reminder, I'm
Noosh.
Finnish. Like, no one else cares, but it's just me. So. Well, yeah, Kyle, if you want to remind everyone kind of the project you've been working on.
Viking metal?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I see, obviously.
I'm interested in that.
I do that too. I was just kind of like going off of what you were saying there. I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, some
Viking.
Swedish, Norwegian
I'm
stuff,
not
yeah.
Viking.
Nah, I know. I do like death metal on the side too.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, this is behind me and stuff. This is Sky River Studio, if you would, and that's what's going to be behind creating the Supernatural Encounters audio drama and the orchestral score. It's all behind here and powered with a whole bunch of fun software as well as like hardware sequencers and synthesizers. It'll be fun.
Which is
Nice.
cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Is
Yes.
there a moment you're particularly looking forward to in the drama, without spoiling anything?
Oh, I do all of the Foley work, the soundscaping, and the orchestral pieces. And the orchestra side is like probably the most like enjoyable piece of everything
Mm-hmm.
in its own different kind of way, because spending like years with what I was doing and then applying that after also like 7 years of band, like growing up and all that fun stuff, and continuing with that route in life, it's like I can do something with all that now, so that's wonderful. But really the like synthesizer play and like getting into like a lot of weird like following strange European YouTubers and their tricks and whatnot and what they've been doing,
Yeah.
and like getting into like Tom Holkenborg from he's pretty famous guy around these towns, or the town now,
Yeah.
Mr. Holkenborg. So trying to get into that realm of things has been pretty fun, and we've been making quite a lot of progress on that.
That's
So
great.
the drama will probably be ready in about 2 years, and
Yeah, that's no time at all.
yeah, we're still going through the very, very final draft of Supernatural Encounters now, and the scripts are going to be provided to everyone who's going to be participating, Corinthia and yourself including, in the
Yes.
audio drama. Yeah, which I like to call AD for short, but like, so AD will feature everybody here in this room.
I was going to say
We're
spoilers.
gonna
We
have
haven't told anyone that I'm in the audio drama yet.
We did. Oh no, Kyle got drunk and made a spoiler. No, I'm not drunk. I'm teasing with you. But yeah, world. Lisa's gonna be in there.
Yeah.
But we don't have to tell the world. I said her, but tell the world.
The world's a her. Let's be real.
Kind of keeping with the theme of things. Yeah, but we don't have to tell them what role you're gonna have per se.
True.
We'll leave that part,
True. Yeah.
a mystery and whatnot. But all the same, getting back to the OP, a lot of that stuff's happening, and yeah, kind of like looking at what's gonna be behind all that.
Yeah. Before we were
Yeah.
Like
I'm excited. So
yeah, I've built like the studio into the I don't want to bend my camera angle back, but like my actual like Legends library, has kind of been built into the studio.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
And
We're
I know
doing all of our own Foley. Eventually there'll be.
Oh no, I was going to change the subject. I'm sorry.
Oh, go for it.
Well, we were talking before we started recording, Matthew Stover, and I just wanted to talk to Matthew Stover, to be honest. Kind of like what's our favorite books, our favorite moments, and Corinthia. Like, I know you are a fan of Revenge of the Sith.
yes, huge prequels fan. So Matthew Stover's Revenge of the Sith novelization was one of the first like Legends books that I ever read.
Awesome.
So it's kind of like it's got that special place in my heart, and it's just such a fantastic elaboration on an already great story. So
yeah, I just blanked on who wrote Attack of the Clones novelization. If one of you could remind me.
The man who received death threats for Vector Crime. Who received death threats for
Oh,
Vector
right.
Prime?
R.A.
Legends Library
Salvatore.
trivia question number 1.
I answered
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I forgot it was him that wrote it. Yeah, I knew it was someone like controversial.
Yeah.
Or only because the fans drove him away. Obviously.
Oh, he wasn't controversial. Yeah, like he was given a task and he did it incredibly well. I remember every single moment that he wrote for Chewbacca's death versus whatever's going on now. So
Yeah, well, I
it's
still
burned into your eye like Han
bawled
Solo
my
thought.
yeah, exactly. I bawled my eyes out reading that scene, and I was on the subway, so that wasn't a very lovely public moment for me.
No.
But yeah, and then
that was a different kind of time too. You could literally just ruin anybody's life during that time in Star Wars by saying like, yeah, you know, Chewie died,
well,
and you would just, excuse my language, but you would f anybody's day out of nowhere like, when it was
Yep.
fresh news. Yeah, you're like, and they'd be like, what? What? And like, it's just like, no, it's true. Like,
I
true.
actually,
and they're like, oh, who did that? And it's like, well, it's R.A. Salvatore, you know, the guy who,
yeah,
you know,
well,
he has a lot of cool stuff out there right now, and he came along and he killed Chewbacca. And
only 'cause
that's
they
like
told
that's
him.
how everybody talked.
It's not like he came up with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but
Like,
back then, like nobody cared about like that immediate like logic. They were just like really upset that somebody killed Chewbacca.
yeah. Well, I remember like walking out of the subway, and then I went straight to the bookstore, and I was like still in tears, and I was like, I need the next one because Chewbacca died, and then the guy was like, spoilers much, and I was like, you work in the bookstore, like this is your own fault. Like,
Yeah.
I miss that. I used to have a couple different stores in like the tri-state area that I would go to all the time, and like they knew that I followed everything.
yeah.
And the same, like, when I would go in, they'd be like, yep, all right. And then, like, next thing, they would always have it, like, on the side. And I see the same people to this day, and it's like, no, they don't have anything for me. It's kind
Yeah.
of sad. Yeah. Yeah.
But getting back to Stover,
Funny. That's
I
not funny,
mean,
that's tragic.
like I know one story, and I've talked about it before, that I think Disney should try to tackle is talking more about Mace Windu, and I thought kind of having like a prequel to the Stover book of Mace, or something like that, or I don't know how it could be done, but I just think it would be a story that is still needed.
Mace Windu is Snoke.
Yeah.
Mace Windu Snoke, is that what you said?
That was going around for a while there.
What?
Yeah,
That
before
was,
the
Why?
news dropped.
that was one of the theories.
Yeah, that was a theory.
Yeah.
Because why not, Lisa? Like, and then what happened was so much worse. But all the same, it was great. I love the idea of Sam Jackson being in there somewhere.
Yeah, true.
It's like funny. I wonder if like part of that is like because Sam Jackson has said before publicly that George Lucas got ripped off, for selling Star Wars for $4 billion. He's like, I think he got ripped off, or something. It was at TMZ.
Oh, what?
A little snippet.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder how he feels about things today. I'm sure he's spoken on that but
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to sell Twitter for $44 billion. Obviously, Star Wars has much more value.
yeah.
Clearly.
I've got my priorities straight.
Yeah.
So, Corinthia, I know. So you're into Sith. Who would be your favorite Sith?
Yes. Oh. I'm a huge Darth Vader fan. Just super classic. Like, who doesn't love Vader?
Of
So,
course.
yeah, he's probably my favorite. So,
Yeah. Nice.
but like,
how old?
What's that?
How old are you, Corinthia? If you don't mind me asking, you do not have to.
I was gonna say, don't ask a woman her age.
So, and did you know Vader like from the get-go with like the long curls and the scars and all that? Is that how you were introduced to Vader? Like through Hayden Christensen, more or less?
Yes. Yes.
It's a very interesting take. Because you have the old school, and it's just like all we got was Sebastian. It's like
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
with his thick
and then, like,
eyebrows.
yeah. And then, like, then came Hayden Christensen, this, like, I'm comfortable enough to say it, this beautiful man, is just like,
Yeah.
so I was just curious on that because, like, it changes from culture to culture.
Well,
Those who
Yeah.
it's also
just knew
age
him as
group.
Like I've been
great
saying,
people.
I am such a prequels fan, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Right on. I love the prequels too.
Yeah.
I love everything terrible about Star Wars, like Crystal Star. I love that
Yeah.
shit.
I've still not done Crystal Star, but it's on the list of episodes we need to come out with.
We should make that one the next one. I've read it like, yeah, next, because I don't think Randy ever touched that one. I can't remember,
I
but
don't
I
think
don't
they
think they
did.
ever did it.
No, I don't think they did. They tended to do like the more popular ones that get people going.
Yeah, nobody likes Crystal Star.
So if you
It's
like,
so good though.
so the other day I was swimming at the lake
And
because
world building.
it was like 40 degrees the other day, so I was swimming at the lake and I met this couple, and they're probably like late 40s, maybe early 50s. I'm not really a good judge of age. But we started talking. Yeah, I know. We started talking about Star Wars, and of course they're like, "Oh, cool! You've got the podcast." And then immediately they were like, "Oh, Hayden Christensen, blah 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 blah." And I'm just like, and I'm just looking at them, and I'm with my boyfriend, and he's just like, And I'm like, but it's that kind of age group where they grew up with the original OT, and then they watched the prequels at like while they're teenagers or in their 20s, and they just hated it, and they're both actors as their professions. They're like, he cannot act, blah blah blah, and they're French Canadian actors, by the way. They're a very lovely couple, but
I'm gonna reserve all comments.
don't say anything.
All
They're a very
comments.
lovely couple, but it just
I won't.
made me go,
I
yeah,
said
there's
nothing.
still a lot of
Let
hate
the record
towards.
say.
Like, I know there's hate towards Hayden, but like, it is what it is, and I still think he did a great job. So I don't know how you feel about him, Corinthia.
Yeah. Under the circumstances,
Yeah.
I love Hayden Christensen, and I love his Anakin. It's my favorite Anakin out of all the iterations. So even like Anakin's written through in books, I like the screen version the best.
Oh yeah, and you can see it, like it's all him, right? It definitely.
Yeah.
The casting, people can talk smack, but the casting for the prequel trilogy was perfect.
Yeah.
No matter how
pitch perfect, yeah.
Yep. I can argue all the plot, but like Hayden was perfect.
Ewan McGregor, like, what an amazing actor, first of all, to come on the scene. And he was so little known about in North America. Like, I think he had done Train Spotting at that point, which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, that was his. That was in '92.
Yeah, like, and that.
Yeah, because Phantom Menace, they started taping for in '97. That was like older for him at that point.
Yeah. Now that's
like Hayden was completely out of nowhere. He didn't have anything really. Did you enjoy what was it, Looper? No, not Looper. Forgive me.
Jumper.
What was the Jumper? Thank you. Did you like that one?
Yes, I also loved that one. So yeah.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden, we were talking about episode 2 before we began taping this evening, and and like the novelization versus the film, but those deleted scenes that they definitely did include, which was fortunate, but I wish that they put them into the cut version, like the actual theatrical release, because it made Hayden Christensen so much less creepy.
Yes, like the scene where they visit the Naberry estate and he talks to like his mom, like Padme's mom and dad and sister. That was like the best scene, and he goes out and like walks in the garden with his dad and her dad, and like they talk, and it was just such a like a pure thing. And like if you've ever dated, you know what that feels like to like go to the parents' house and like meet the parents, and it just grounded their relationship for me in a way that you just didn't get through the film.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I really think like, and they put, I remember in the scenes too, there was so much detail down to the forks and the knives and all the cutlery.
Yes.
Like, they had like shellfish silverware designed and like all of that for those scenes.
Yeah.
And they were beautiful, and they definitely, I'm glad that they got like their credit where it was due, as far as they were at least included with most of the releases back then. But like that would have made the film so much better. And the
Yeah.
novel
Yeah.
managed to pull that off for it.
Yeah.
Is there more in the novel with the families?
Yeah.
I haven't read Attack of the Clones or 4.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that scene is in the novel.
Yeah. Yeah, he Salvatore stitches everything together
Yeah.
pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were joking earlier that you get to see what happens to Klieg and all that, which
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
so there was a lot of extended or deleted scenes, if you would, that he elaborated on in the novelization, and
Okay.
it definitely made it worth reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, I
Back
also
to like Hayden Christensen and I'm sorry, but like in modern day, Lisa, I know you missed it on that because you still haven't watched Obi-Wan, right?
no.
Good, because this is steaming by. I'm gonna censor myself right there.
Yeah. Beep.
Anyway, yeah.
Pew
Um,
pew.
yeah. I was quite surprised that they did not use any anti-aging for Hayden whatsoever in the Obi-Wan show. That was
Mhm.
very strange. It was great to see him like participate in modern Star Wars times though. I mean, like I hope that they hooked him up. I felt that they did not do him like service with the series, but
Hmm.
it was nice to see him back out there and know that he's part of the circuit, you know,
Yeah.
going through with the Star Wars circuit. He's still around now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
even if it's like
The
a
most
question.
heartening thing was like seeing audience reaction. It was just so nice to like finally have him like just
Respected.
feel all the love that
Yeah.
he didn't feel, first time around. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I wish
agree
we
with
got
that.
like everything that he was in. I wish we
yeah.
got everything he was in one episode, so then we could just review that episode instead of the whole thing. Um, the closer, without giving away spoilers, was particularly nice to see him, without a shadow of doubt, just be psychotic. So psychotic Hayden Christensen was for the fans and whatnot. For our context here, was quite a joy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
by far, like saved that entire series. So thank you, Hayden, for continuing to be around and somehow
Yep.
saving that show that was supposed to be about you and McGregor, but you saved it, buddy. Good job.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that then at least. Because it's kind of like with Ahmed Best when he went
Oh
to
yeah.
Celebration and people were just like, yay, you're here,
Yeah.
like, and so happy. And it was the same with that couple that I met the other night, and they were just being like, oh, Jar Jar. And I do my usual, like, spiel of, like, look, this is why, you should kind of take a step back from your hate and, appreciate Jar Jar because, like,
Mhm.
he's a misunderstood character. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, he said a lot of things when it should have been a line from like Qui-Gon to Padme, for instance, but it is what it is,
I
and it's still a children's
think
movie.
Yes.
people definitely
Yeah.
bitched.
Mhm.
Sorry,
That's
Corinthia.
like the biggest thing that most people forget is like episode 1 was a film for children. So like a character like Jar Jar is for kids.
Yeah,
And like I remember I loved Jar Jar as a kid. So
yeah,
it's like any adult who like hates on Jar Jar, it's kind of like, well, he wasn't for you anyway.
yeah.
So,
Well, and I
you know,
gently
I
reminded
think
them that like Ahmed Best
you
stood on the Brooklyn Bridge and debated attempting suicide. So stop your hate and publicly
yeah.
shaming people for no reason because look what you can drive to someone to that point.
he
And
Yeah.
all he did was replace 3PO.
yeah,
Like if you watch the old ones in that perspective, it's just like, all right, like C3PO was the
Yeah.
most annoying, excuse me, friggin' character
bleep.
of A New Hope, right? You just hated him. And like he actually like draws you down and like I don't know, you love him because of like the nostalgia and everything else, and it was a great film.
Well,
But like he's incredibly annoying.
plus,
And
like,
like
you
Jar
love
Jar
those
only
moments with,
filled the exact same
yeah,
uh,
you love those moments with, like, Han,
yeah,
putting
Jar
his
Jar
hand
was
over
just
his
like
mouth,
the
like,
same. Yeah, he was just the same archetype, and like Obi-Wan
Yeah.
called him a lower life form and all that. It's just like, so like I know that people hate George for doing that, but at the same time, like he let the audience in on the joke. Like Obi-Wan was our way in,
Mm-hmm.
and like Obi-Wan hated everything about what Qui-Gon was trying to do, right?
Yeah.
So like it's the subliminal messaging that people missed about episode 1 is just like, we're supposed to be Obi and like Obi-Wan, and we're like absorbing all this, and like, these guys are doing the story, but we're just sitting there like, what the is actually happening for this entire time? We're Obi-Wan. And like that's like the brilliance behind episode 1. Like he managed to pull it off in that
Mhm.
perspective. Like I'm just saying, it's a perfect film out of the 3.
I love
I
Phantom
think it was
Menace.
like the one that felt the most. Yeah, I think it's the one that felt the most like Star Wars, and that's like not a popular
Yeah.
opinion. I hope that we get hate mail, but like it will probably be about
We don't
that.
get hate mail.
Um,
Our listeners
Well,
are
no,
nice.
big enough to hate us yet. Hopefully nobody starts stalking or anything weird. Spice folk from New Jedi Order. There we go. Let's keep it moving.
Nice. Who would you say? Okay, so you like Sith, but if you could take a Jedi as your favorite character, who would that be? Do you think it would still be?
A Jedi?
Yeah.
You can take your time on
Is it
this.
Yeah.
cheating to say Anakin Skywalker?
Okay, so this whole episode is titled Hayden and Why We Love You.
Yes.
Is that what it's gonna be? All right, that's good enough with
All
me.
right,
At least, like,
let's just
people
talk
focus
Hayden and
I have
Anakin.
to engage my brain. I mean, I do love also Luke Skywalker, just like in terms of like Legends books, like
Mhm. Mhm.
just
I love
Just-
Legends Luke.
yeah.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
talk, and like if they don't read it from start to finish, they kind of it's really easy to like get lost out
Mhm.
there and forget where you're at in the timeline, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But like the progression of Luke was not some OP thing. Like, again, like back
Mhm.
to the point, right? Like if you read Thrawn, it's just like, all right, in the timeline, like he's here. But as you go along with everything else, it's like by the time that you get to the unifying force, it's like
Mhm.
Luke Skywalker was everything that he was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and detractors like can make their own opinions, but down to like Crucible, Luke Skywalker was the epitome of everything that we would hope that he would become.
Mhm.
Even if
Yeah.
fans didn't like appreciate like FOTJ, that's like their own issue, because that series was like made for hardcore fans, even if people don't realize it. So like only the
Mhm.
hardcore fans were gonna get most of it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, Luke Skywalker is OG and was perfect in Legends and
Yeah.
changed my
Yeah.
mind with the meme.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. I don't know, just everything that they did with Luke throughout Legends just made him feel so much more down to earth than, what in comparison what DU has done with Luke, and what can be extrapolated from the movies as well. It was just so nice to read Luke as just like a dude,
Yeah.
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 Not
just
like
a dude who just happens to be in the situation that he was in. So
yeah, minus the force stroke. No pun intended there. But like, Jesus, come
Yeah.
on.
no.
We got like the warrior that he really was,
Mhm.
and like he like transcended into Yoda level, when he was just ready to
Yeah.
Yeah.
sit back and let the order take care of itself. And there was a in Crucible, there was that point when you're just watching like the academy happen, and it's just like as he was setting back and whatnot. And that's like probably my favorite. Like I know Detroit didn't apparently know that was going to be the last book of the timeline, save Mercy Kill. But he sure wrote it like it was, in its own weird, strange way. If you've read it, Corinthia.
Yeah. I've read it. Mhm.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful way to end the whole thing. But yeah, we got like Yoda Luke, and
Yeah.
Han and Leia got pummeled enough to the point that they actually were going to retire. And
Finally.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
No kidding.
I don't want to give you spoilers, Isaac, but
yeah,
like
don't. I haven't read
for
it
that
yet.
one,
Yeah, don't. Well, I was
but it's
gonna make
like,
a comment on Luke, because you're saying, yeah, he gets this level of like perfection, but then like you look at him in Legacy, and he's not clever enough
Hmm.
to still see that Lumaya and Jason are up to something, or Jason is being tainted. It only takes Mara to go, enough of this. I'm gonna go and sort this situation out, and then even with like
Yeah.
the dreams from Abeloth, like he's like, oh, it's clearly Mara sending me a message
Yeah.
from like beyond, and nope, like there's times when you can still
Yeah.
see
Nope.
his humanity, but like you're so right, like he is at that crazy cool level, but I don't know, I just found it like silly
Yeah.
sometimes when they were like doing their investigation of like why Justina Lobi was killed, and it was because of like Lumaya and Limarar killing her, and like that subsequent like investigation, and
Hmm.
he was just kind of like this silly kind of like suspicions, and then of course he thinks that Alima killed Mara Jade, but it was Jason all along. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had to like redo themselves in a new way, and I think that they wrote Luke okay for that whole situation because it's like, all right, look, like making Jason turn to the dark side was a trope. They had to make it um that whole impact quite significant to actually be able to pull it off without it sounding cheesy. I
Mhm.
think they wrote okay for Luke. He was all right, and like Legacy brought along some of my favorite Luke moments of all time.
Mhm.
Like seeing him vulnerable when his wife dies.
Oh,
All of that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
his girl dies, and like that was that whole series was probably my favorite thing in the lore. So maybe I'm like
Mhm.
a little biased from it, and like that's probably why I love Fate of the Jedi so much because like for a man who like had more of a dad than a mom growing up. I understood a lot of his like
Yeah.
Odyssey references and like kind of being out there with him. So I think it translated differently for me, but that's just like a bias.
Mm.
But I
Yeah.
really love how Luke turned out and whatnot. And by the time like that we get to Fate of the Jedi and his acceptance of being banished from everything that he created, I think that was and leaving Kent in charge and all that fun stuff that he had to go through and just like watching everything that he created, like leaving your baby. In a way, it was like kind of the strange symbolism with George himself, like leaving behind Star Wars
Yeah.
Mhm.
and like just having to trust that it would kind of like carry on. I know that's like too deep of a thing to actually mean anything, but that's how I picture it in my brain now.
Mm.
I don't know. I really enjoyed how Luke turned out by the end, and like Ben Skywalker was like just as equally exciting character as an exciting character.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
was really looking forward to him replacing Luke, kind of like
Yeah.
and becoming his own thing. And like all of the edginess and everything else that we wanted from Luke, I think we were gonna get with Ben. Um, it's
I
kind of a
love
shame that
I
our
love
little
Ben's
love got.
evolution, like him being just kind of like
Hmm.
a kid that was scared of the Force, who then end up dating
Yeah.
a Sith as well. Like, but like
Yeah,
like his whole progression. I
there
love,
was.
Yeah.
yeah, like his progression, like going to Zios and finding Ship, and subsequently giving it accidentally to Lumaya, and then Ship attacking Mara later, and then sensing that like Mara's kind of like Ben, and Ben was like Mara, like there's a little bit of the darkness in them, but
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going with this tangent other
And like
than
as a,
Ship's the best. I'm a big fan of Ship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of those understated characters that doesn't get enough screen time.
yeah, and we got that nice little rebirth with Vistara and Ben. It was
Yeah,
gonna be Mara and Luke all over again.
yeah, exactly.
That was, except for with their own twist, it was gonna be great.
Yeah. With Do you think
Probably like one of my.
so? Like with Kenneth Hamner, I just had a thought. Because Saba, yeah, I know we all have experienced bad leaders recently, but do you think Luke should have left Saba in charge because she became in charge
Yep,
eventually? Like, yeah,
yep.
hmm,
Mhm.
Saba was the natural choice from the break.
yeah,
Kent was just old school.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's why he got the
Yeah.
position. He was just old school.
hmm, hmm,
I liked what they did though, because they had to make a way for Saba to save the day, right,
Mm-hmm.
and like take over. That was the
True
whole
that,
point.
yeah.
So yeah, I like the characters they chose. Like if Kent was the fall guy, like I still remain quite good with it. Like I'm not pissed in the way that he died. Thought it
Mm-hmm.
was actually kind of gallant for him, despite the irony of the whole stupid situation that he died over.
Yeah. So to stop
You
the
know,
stealth
Yeah.
X's from
like
leaving, yeah.
yeah, like they gave him a really cool death despite his stupid point of view, I guess. But,
Yeah.
you know, like Luke was the leader of the rebellion, bro. Like he should have kind of listened to his comrades.
Yeah.
I think that's like
Mhm.
I think like I know that we get like Luke's insight on everything, but at the same time, it's like come on, man, like
Yeah.
not exactly like following the principles of your founder here.
Yeah. So Corinthia, do
Anyway,
you
that's a
have
separate debate.
do you have a favorite author that you've really enjoyed in Star Wars?
I am a huge fan of John Jackson Miller.
Yes.
So
Kenobi.
like as far as like books to reread go, I'm pretty sure I reread Lost Tribe of the Sith at least once a
Oh,
year.
yeah.
So
It's a good book.
yeah.
I recommend
Yeah, it's yeah, I love
yeah.
that book.
I recommend you tuning into an old episode on Legends where we actually had John Jackson Miller come on and he basically
Yeah.
narrated the
Mhm.
entire like Lost Tribes of the Sith. And he was amazing. Like he just talked. He talked so much that I actually could leave the room
Yeah.
because he was just and I wasn't expecting him
Yeah,
to like sit down and
I've
just do
listened to
it.
him on other shows before. He's
He's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. So pretty
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
So, there's he's definitely another author I'd like to get back on the show just because he's just like a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, let me know when you do.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah, I mean, like
no, go ahead.
he's like usually responsive. He's pretty responsive. I think we can get him to come on here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So message to John Jackson Miller and message to Hayden who are clearly watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes,
He's
clearly.
definitely one of our like however many tens of people who watch consistently.
We got a couple. Yeah.
He's definitely Mr. Christensen.
What's your next book that you plan on reading?
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of like a gazillion books right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've got some that are on my to finish list.
Yeah.
Gosh. Looking at looking at my shelf right now, I know I still need to read like Jodeye, Shadows of the Empire, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
such a
so many I
good
still need
one.
to read.
Such
Yeah.
a good. Are you gonna do the Shadows of the
I
Empire
think
in its entirety?
yeah.
Like you're gonna read the book and read the comics?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do that one. That's
Yeah.
like
I've been
that's
told,
an
yeah.
old school convo. Yeah. Really, I should be like, yo, where's your 64, girl? Do you have your Nintendo 64 emulator hooked up? I'm
I'm gonna
teasing
need
you,
to
of
find
course.
one, I guess, now.
Did you ever play the Nintendo 64 game?
No, I wish I did though.
It's very easy to
I'm not
find
I'm not
online.
quite old enough for that. Yeah.
Very easy to find online. That gives you the rest of the
Yeah.
story. You need the game, you need the comics, and the book, and you'll get the whole.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it sounds cheesy and be like, this guy Kyle, damn did he just like keep talking at that thing that we did together here on the the podcast. But he kept saying over and over again to try to play this video game on the internet where it's very easy to find. And you'll love it.
He tries to
Yeah, you
convince me
will, I think.
too, and
I'm
I
sure I
won't do
will.
it.
Yeah.
It's from the time period of video games that like it's very easy to play. Like I know people are gonna be like in uproar saying this, but like it's not difficult. It's not like it is now. When you have to be so invested into a
Oh
video
God,
game to
yeah.
be able to like be good at it. Like Shadows of the Empire and all N64 games were really not that way. Like everybody could just sit down and like get down. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it
Yeah.
a lot. Yo, the 2D Wampas are gonna kick your ass, and it's great. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. I think that game came out in what, like 95? 95-ish?
Okay.
Ish. Yeah, so it's like, oh man, it's so bad, so great. It's perfect.
You know what? The old games like that are just some of the best.
Yes.
So,
Outcast included, all that.
mhm. Yeah.
I
A
was,
little bit of pause for that Shadows of the Empire, because like that was really cool. That showed us like I'm inspired recently because Christopher Nelson has had a lot of memorabilia from that time that he's been having on his channel.
hmm
And it's like um because Shadows of the Empire was such a multimedia project, like it was like one of its first kind.
Yeah.
Chris Nelson on his YouTube channel had a bunch of what Lucasfilm would send out to like KB Toys and all the Toys R Us, all that stuff. Like it was like this really cool letter from them stating that, like, they're building the story. They're kind of like interconnecting the video games, because remember, like, places like KB Toys and stuff would sell video games as well. And they're like, yeah,
hmm
all the toys in your aisles are actually connected to this big story we're doing. It's very fascinating. If you want to check out Chris's channel,
Yeah.
so it was like, for all those people who say that like none of it mattered, it's like that's not true. That's not necessarily
Yes.
true. I'll say that, because it's like, yeah, there was actually like community outreach, and Lucasfilm was known to do a lot of very like ahead of their time things that
yeah.
people don't give them credit for now. Like Shadows of the
Yeah.
Empire multimedia project was perfect.
One thing
Not
I was,
perfect, but it was like really, really cool for the time.
yeah, I was reading some of the older
You were saying?
comics recently, and when you get like those sections where like people talk, like ask questions, and then they respond, kind of like in the outreach part. But it, like, you actually look at it, and people will be like, it'll say Carl Rawlings from, and then the full address of the person posted, and it's in the comic of like this person's full address, including apartment number and like postal code.
Yeah,
And I'm just like,
how we did
Yeah.
shit back
that's
in the
so
day.
trusting back in the day.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
different time.
But yeah, I do miss those times. Like I'm old enough to like I had like a beeper. Anyway, so like writing in, like I wrote into Dark Horse when I was a kid. I wrote to Del Rey too. Like
Maybe I've read
that's
it
what we
and
did.
didn't realize that you were one of
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
people being answered.
yeah. It was community outreach was a lot different back then. I think it was a lot more involved, and I do miss old times. That's a separate conversation. I've had the second. I told you before, if I get up for the third one, that it's probably time to end the show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use this as a very nice segue and let you ladies talk here for like 3 minutes while I go get a glass of wine. And I'm going to join you for the closer of the show. How's that?
Okay.
Sound
Yes,
good?
Kyle, we're officially ending
All
the
right.
Sounds
episode. Go
good.
get your wine.
Yeah. Take it away, Corinthia. Take it away, Liisa. I'll be right back.
All right.
Well, actually, Corinthia, I was thinking of posing you a question, and if you want to think about it, you can feel free, and I'll just yabber on about something else.
Okay.
If you could pick 5 individuals to be like your A team, who would they be? So, for instance,
Okay.
for instance, with me, I've
Ooh.
definitely picked Braun,
Mhm.
Saba, Mara. I'm kind of on the fence with Leia sometimes. Like, yes, Bane, just because
Yeah.
I love Bane. And the 5th one, I don't know. I'm undecided. R2, I
Oh
guess.
God,
I
my
probably want
18 would
R2.
probably be mine would probably be like mostly Sith characters. So
Mhm.
like Plagueis,
Yeah.
Nagasato.
Oh, yeah.
I just butchered that name.
So that, yeah, I
Uh,
know who you meant. Don't worry.
Plagueis,
There's
Nagasato.
many ways to enunciate words in Star Wars. Twi'lek, Twi'lek.
Gosh,
Not a big
yeah.
deal.
Sometimes it's like some. You know what? I this is how kind of disconnected I was from Star Wars for the longest time. So Jason and Jaina, right? I
Mhm.
never knew it was pronounced that way. I thought it was Jaqen and Jaina or Jaina. And I was like, no. And then somebody said it, and I'm like, oh no, I've been saying it wrong in my head wrong this whole time.
Oh my gosh.
So
The Vagina, that's
and it
pretty
was like,
bad.
and it was Yeah, I used to think that I was like, they're kind of stupid names, right? Like, but it turns out I was just saying them wrong, and they're not stupid names. They're actually pretty normal.
Yeah, they are normal. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I could see
Yeah.
that. Like some of the names, obviously,
No,
like
God.
there's Thelak, 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 Thelak,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Like, Troy Denning, he's famous for his alliteration, like Saba Sabatine and all those kind of characters. So like you never know
Yeah.
what is going to be what. Like
Mhm.
obviously people have a trouble saying my name even, and that's not too hard. There's two eyes in it. But so okay.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm still thinking about who would be in my A team.
Yeah, it's a hard question because
I
you gotta
guess.
really. I didn't even think about Plagueis, and Plagueis is like Plagueis
Yeah,
is one of my favorite books.
he's awesome.
I
Yeah.
love love
Well, that
love.
was the first Legends book I ever read
Oh
was Dark
really?
Plagueis.
It was
Wow,
So
that's a great
yeah,
introduction.
it was one of my first
yeah,
5 books I read was Plagueis actually. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a good way to kick
yeah.
off the
No,
new year.
the first two books, Star Wars books I read were Darth Plagueis and Paul S. Kemp's Lords of the Sith, which is
Okay,
it's
I
kind of flown under the radar, that one.
I've read that one. That was my
I
first book
loved
that I
that
ever
book.
read. So
Yeah,
like I was going on a
yeah.
whole like
That was an interesting one.
yeah. Oh no, for sure. I was going on a
That
whole like
was
Vader dark side kick, so I was buying all the like Vader books first, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Ooh, a story about Palpatine and Vader. Like this is gonna be good." Like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
threw
No,
that,
I
that was
was
like
on the same kind of kick. So,
yeah,
they threw Camp a bone.
yeah,
I don't. He hasn't
yeah.
written since, right?
no,
Like that's the only book that he had.
yep. So,
Yeah,
I
they
feel
threw him a
like
bone though.
hasn't he written one other thing?
I
oh,
don't
I
think
don't
so.
know. I don't remember.
we're out of date.
Nah, it was like
Yeah.
that. That was kind of the nice part about the beginning. Like I hated the reboot. I was definitely a Warhawk, but it was like, all right, people were still writing for it. But I've noticed in recent years that like there's not much. Mr. Kemp has not really been writing too much for
No, yeah, and they
Yeah.
haven't like they don't
It,
use James Luceno enough anymore. Like the last one he did was what, uh,
no.
Catalyst for Rogue One.
Yeah.
Uh,
John Jackson Miller was like, Rebel Dawn.
yeah, yeah. Last
Yeah,
one he did was Catalyst, which is a fantastic book. I
yeah.
loved
I
Catalyst.
liked Catalyst. It
Oh, he
was
did do
good.
Catalyst.
Yeah, James Luceno.
Yeah.
No, that was a good
Listen,
story.
Yeah.
for JJM, it was New Dawn, right? That
Yeah,
was the last one he did,
yeah. An introduction of
I think, right?
Hera. Yeah.
Yes.
Am I mistaken?
Yes, it
Yeah,
was. hmm
yeah,
Which
So,
is also fantastic, and I've read that one multiple times as well. So,
yeah.
well,
Miss those guys.
have you gotten your third wine and you're enjoying it?
I'm still thinking, I'm still
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
posed.
yes. I
delicious,
am.
right?
Yeah, I posed a question to Corinthia, which was, if you have an A team of 5 people from Star Wars, who would it be?
Oh,
Yeah,
are
and
you
she's.
asking me, or are you just telling me this amazing
I'm
question?
I'm still
sort of
thinking. I'm trying to build like the
okay.
best team in my mind. So far, I've
Oh,
got Plagueis,
what's the mission?
Nagasato. Add XR Kun to that.
Ooh, Sith. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to build like the coolest Sith team I could possibly build in my
Yeah,
mind.
I'm regretting my choices now. I want Plagueis on
Uh,
my team.
yeah,
I want
no,
I want
Plagueis,
some
Nagasato,
SE Sith
XR Kun.
Lords that I can't talk about yet, but I want some
Yeah,
SE Sith Lords.
Yeah,
I
well,
would also add some of those to my list as well.
Yes, I love that you're so familiar with that
Yes,
realm of SW Corinthia. It's great, and
gosh.
it's very
Well,
it's a unique
being friends with
experience.
Edward, how could I not be?
Yeah, it's a unique experience to be able to have you on the show because like how
Yeah.
invested we are in it here, and like there's not really a lot of platforms that are you know vaunting SE. So
hmm
I'm glad you're here.
More people need to be in on this because it is going to be
Yes,
amazing.
hmm
Supernatural
Yeah.
Encounters is the shit. Excuse me, but it is though.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
like Sith at all, You gotta, get in on it.
At all. It's the origin. It's like the actual origin
Yes.
of the Sith.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's gonna be free online.
That's even more
Not worth
awesome.
time.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
So,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Still thinking.
I'm still thinking, Kyle,
know,
do
it's
you
a
have
very tough
anyone?
question. Now, Lisa
Yeah.
has tricked
Maybe I'll
Lisa-
steal some of your ideas.
3 years ago or so. Lisa tricked me with the same question. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a very difficult question. She threw a curveball at me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, da-da. I know I also said Exar Kun. I believe I said Jason.
Mm.
Now, what? Wait. So we're making a power team for
Or
Sith only?
it's an A team. No, it's your A team.
An A team for any. What is the mission for this A team?
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
If it's just like. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. The question has a lot of answers. I got you. If it was 5 people, I'm gonna be weird and just say stuff that doesn't really matter instead of like key characters and stuff, because that's. I'm gonna build a droid team.
Well, I did say R2
I love
maybe for
droids.
me.
I love droid sentience throughout Star Wars. It's perfect.
K3. Yeah.
So I would say
Nice.
Q9 from Supernatural Encounters, because Q9 is one of my favorite droids of all time now. Look for him in the future, and you'll know what I mean if you pay attention to that. And what was it? I5QY or whatever the hell that was from MedStar. Steve Perry. The droid from the Pavan cycle. You know what I'm talking about?
I know
It's been so long.
the one, and I could not tell you the name.
MedStar. They were in a lot of stuff. Coruscant Knights as well. Anyway, that droid, because that was like there was a lot of themes put around like droid sentience from there. That was kind of cool. See here. I'm gonna take Jason's YVH droid, because like, those droids have a special place in my heart too. They're so full of hatred, but then they got cute at the end, right? Like all of a sudden they were like these tameable pet droids that people just had, and like we know that Lando made them for like to use on Vong, and then all of a sudden people could just have them. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
I remember
I'm gonna throw one of
those.
those guys in there. I'm gonna throw one of those guys in there for shits and grins, and let's see, that's what, 3. We gotta throw like a Clone Wars era droid in there. So I would definitely throw just like the Droideka, Episode 1 Droideka without the upgrades and everything. Just a straight like roller killer droid. It's okay if it fails right away. I don't care. That thing was badass. But no upgrades, just like Trade Federation issued, non-CIS issued Droideka. And then IG-88B.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're gonna be specific.
I was gonna say which one, but yeah.
Yeah. Or 4-LOM, like anyway, but just
4-LOM's underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's my like random like Star Wars team, just to have one, I guess.
Unless
there's a specific mission that I gotta bring Mara Jade into it, I can always go that route.
Yeah.
But just choose random cool droids that we like.
Well, don't forget Iron Hulks, but that's from a long time ago.
There's so many nice droids to choose from. They were all great. I love Solace from Dark Rendezvous. He's also like one of my favorite droid characters ever. Remember them? The Footmen droids from Dark Rendezvous?
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
Love them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, random stuff. I'm just going to keep talking unless you cut me off. I told you about this third glass thing.
Oh, you did warn us.
I did. I'm going to talk now.
I know normally we've got such like notes, and like I did have I said, I've got all these pages of notes that we were going to do for a show, and the things got a little changed. So we're a little more normal, poetic, but today it's just an episode of
poetic.
Kyle. Well, it's just you getting drunk. That's all it is.
Are you born with grace? Or one cannot just simply have grace for Seinfeld fans. Anyway, yeah, we wanted to give you something because like Corinthia is a wonderful guest to have. We didn't have like the full crew that we were
Thanks.
gonna do for this spectacular, of course, and yeah, and like because you're just like you've been part of it for so long. I'm glad that like I don't know how much we've like all talking to outside of "Thou shall not be named."
Yeah.
But for people who are watching, because like our channel is relatively new and people don't really watch our long episodes. They like our shorts, but hopefully they're watching this one.
Mhm.
At the same time, like Corinthia has been part of like my Star Wars camp for so long, even though we've never had the chance to talk on video, save
I know. Yeah.
maybe something via remote, like audio only, in a previous shit show that we were both involved. Excuse me, a previous nonprofit that we were both involved in not that long ago, including Liisa herself as well. So we were all working together prior to this very harmoniously. So it's very nice to have you here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to like
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
yeah, I'm gonna try to wrap up my
Yeah.
drunk closer here. But like, yeah, I'm glad you're here and Lisa's here and we're all able to talk and just kind of have some fun and
Watch Kyle get
I'm gonna let
drunk.
you all take it away. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, I was like, you know what, before we started taping this, people, for those like 9 people who are still watching this by now,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm just gonna break out the bottle of wine and we're gonna like, really meet Corinthia. And like it's been a minute since me and Lisa have like chatted and whatnot too. So yeah, it's been a great time.
Yeah.
Very
I'm just
fun
drinking
Yeah.
water.
So she says,
Same.
but really
It's
everybody,
water in a
it's a
Princess
secret.
Leia glass.
It's-
Thank you.
It's a secret, but Lisa always has beer somewhere. Don't tell anyone that I said that because she doesn't want people to know. No, she definitely wants people to know it's part of it. But the secret, though, like we don't talk about the fact that we definitely like have a beer or two before we do Legends Library. Is this thing on?
It is on, and I'll have you know,
Get back to normal
I'll have you know, I haven't
right now.
I haven't had anything. Thank you, except water. Take that.
Back to normal right now.
Kyle. Oh, one of these days, I guess.
Uh,
So, Corinthia, have you thought any more of who else you'd want on your team before we
yes,
wrap
I've
this up
got
finally?
my A team.
Okay, let's hear it.
So as
Drum
is
roll.
established now,
Yeah.
total Sith fan. So my A team is Darth Plagueis,
Mhm,
Ooh.
Exar Kun,
mhm.
Nagasado,
Yes.
Malgus,
Oh.
and Darth Nihilus.
Yeah, eater of worlds.
Yeah,
I mean,
ass man.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wholeheartedly agree on that decision of your team there. That team is going to kick some ass, shake some
yes.
Well, I'll take your team down with my team of Thrawn and Saba and Mara Jade and R2 and Bane.
Shit. My team has to be like a lot cooler, or they're gonna be like T3 at the end of like Revan.
Team
when
droid.
it's just gonna get smushed. Hold on, shit. All the droid guys, go back.
No,
We're gonna start over.
you
We're
pick
gonna say-
droids.
we're gonna
You
say-
pick
Oh,
droids. This
no.
is your fault.
Ah,
You
ah,
pick droids.
ah.
She picks Sith Lords. I pick butt kicking women. Like, you get droids.
Can I at least get HK-47? He's like really known, so I was trying to stay away from the really knowns, but I think I need help.
Sure, meatbag.
Yeah.
Sith Lords and stuff. Like he at least has experience.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's true. He's good with
Yeah.
insulting people.
Yeah. Yeah, and killing shit.
Yeah.
I mean, terminating stuff.
Stuff.
Yep.
Oh, well, I think this is one of those episodes where I don't know how people are going to feel about it, but I hope listeners.
Oh, they're gonna feel some kind of way.
Yeah,
I hope you care
It's a
enough.
fun
I hope you all care enough to leave like a bizarre comment underneath here, and then subscribe to the channel to like look out for more bizarre episodes that we do like this, as well as our very cordial, deep dives. Because I would hope that, especially after Mr. Abel gave us such a wonderful shout
Yes.
out, which again, thank you, sir.
And he added me to Facebook. Thank you,
We do.
Abel.
Yeah, we're friends. Anyway, I'm glad that like we do deep dives into books that other people, I feel, don't.
Yeah.
You all saw the notes that we prepared for a simple like Women's of Legends. Like that's a lot that Liisa did, and all the same, like we kind of like invest our time into Legends. Oh shit, I can't get the top angle, but you all get the point. There's a lot of books over there.
Yeah.
We invest our time into Legends, and I think that we do dives that people don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like if anything, there's more politics that people are worried about, and
Your sound's a little
we
off now.
also don't dive too much into
there you
that
go.
necessarily. I think
Yeah.
that it's a very wonderful show. My camera's off kilter. I'm drunk, but at the same time, yeah, it's worth checking out. So subscribe to our channel. Lisa's been doing a bunch of shorts lately. I've been like slammed at work to a point that like it's not even. I should just not open my mouth any further about it because
I'm not going to talk
thing.
about your work situation.
My work life is just like pummeling. So at the same token, Lisa's been doing shorts, and eventually I'll try to hop in with that with her and stuff. But like at the same time, it's been wonderful, and people have been like tuning in. So also just subscribe to the channel, check out awesome people like Corinthia. There is going to be an upcoming Supernatural Encounters YouTube channel that's coming up. So I will get the both of you involved in on that as well. We'll be doing like exclusive things and whatnot for that.
Great.
And
awesome.
I'm gonna call it, Liisa. I'm gonna say this is me signing out. So you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Darn Katarn and at legendslibrary.com. You can also reach me at the Supernatural Encounters Discord along with Corinthia. We're both mods there.
Yes.
And if you want a long-winded approach, you can reach me for SE related stuff through or Supernatural Encounters related stuff through StarWarsTimeline.net. If you want to reach out to Joe and are curious about any of the audio work that we're doing, I am taking submissions for like specific Foley work if people want to put that stuff in. I think that it's a lot of fun to like throw a lot of extras in the background just to have people involved with things. If you all want to tape yourselves yelling into a camera, or onto a microphone, obviously, that would be great because there's some senatorial scenes that we're doing, and I would love to hear you all scream. I play in a death metal band, so let me hear you all scream and send me some submissions. That would be fun.
Where do they send that to, Kyle?
I think they can send that to me at typhojum44@hotmail.com, or you can reach me on Twitter, Instagram at Darn Katarn. That works just as well. Or the StarWarsTimeline.net, going through Joe Bongiorno for all that fun stuff. Okay. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. Listeners, you can also send that to the Legends Library Podcast at gmail.com.
Oh, yes.
Email.
And our podcast. Yes. Yes, Corinthia. Make sure that you don't miss that plug.
Yes.
Yeah. Corinthia, can you let us know how people can get a hold of you?
Yes, so if you want to find out more about what I'm doing and what my group is doing with our Sith fan club, you can find more information about us at sithempire.fun, that's F-U-N, or I can be found on Facebook at Corinthia Warner or on Twitter at XOCorinthia. So, yeah, come find us and come talk about some Sith stuff with us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for checking out. You can follow us again at Legends Library, and it's legendslibrarypodcast.com. So if you can tune into that, take a look at some more of the shorts, and of course, may the Force be with you, everyone. Take care.
May the Force be with you, everyone, and I hope that you all have a funky, fresh week.
I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off.
Are we rolling the bloopers? The bloopers. I finished drink number 3. Bloopers.
That concludes this edition of Legends Library Podcast. To join the discussion, email us at legendslibrarypodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter or Discord at Legends Library. This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for informational or entertainment purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights to Disney and respective copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Legends Library Podcast, otherwise indicated. Legends Library. There's always a bit of truth in legends.